This supplemental edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by mail-to-jail.com, something that rhymes with com. You can use mail to jail to send free mail to the man I'm going to be talking about next, Sam Dodson of Keene. First, I have a little bit of an update about myself, and that is that I have, many of you may recall, seeing a video in which I broadcast live my own traffic stop in the Peterborough area, in Peterborough itself, Peterborough, New Hampshire. And it was of some interest to you folks at the time because I declined to give information to the officer and only provided my papers. Anyway, that stop is going to trial tomorrow, April 27th, 2009, at 10 o'clock a.m., Jaffrey, New Hampshire, 84 Peterborough Street, also known as Jaffrey Peterborough District Court. I guess I should call it Jaffrey District Court. But anyway, it would be helpful if any of you want to show up. That would be great. I'm not looking to do civil disobedience that day. I've been negotiating with the prosecutors to arrange a community service sentence because I do not wish to underwrite that particular traffic location if I can help it. The speed limit is unreasonably low there in my mind. If they do make me pay a fine, my goal is to at least make sure that they don't make a profit on me, that they're spending just as much money on me as they're making off of me, because I object to that stop. But the prosecutor, the state trooper prosecutor, has been very kind, at least seems to be very kind and accommodating, and seems to like the idea of community service, which I'll probably perform in the form of a road cleanup. Anyway, I do want to update you on Sam Dodson's situation. Now, he's the man who was arrested for attempting to videotape near a courtroom in Keene, New Hampshire. He's been in jail almost 2 weeks now, and apparently on hunger strike for most of that time. It's interesting to me to note how hypocritical the American media is in raising so much hell over that the American journalist who's held in Iran. She's on hunger strike, and she's a brave woman, and I appreciate her just like I appreciate Sam. But why is the American media freaked out over her situation, but not freaked out over Sam Dodson's situation? I don't know, but I emailed the press release to the Iranian TV station, or the Iranian TV network, presstv.com. It failed to go through, so you may want to try and figure out how you can contact them. I've got an internet problem right now. I think they would love to report this. They are actually faithfully reporting on the situation in their own country. Even though they're state-run media, they're reporting on the arrest, detention, and hunger strike of the American journalist. So good for them for at least reporting the controversial news that our media is unwilling to report on arrests of its own journalists. Anyway, Sam Dodson, of course, he's not a mainstream journalist. He's an independent journalist, but a journalist nevertheless. There's been a vigil, a candlelight vigil with really record turnout. 50 people turned out at the Central Square in Keene last week to raise their voices against his continued detention. There is also speculation that apparently he has been booked by Keene Police Department finally. They were saying they wouldn't do that until he gave them a name. Not clear on whether he gave a name or not, but there's speculation that the filing of Ivy Walker's filing of a writ of habeas corpus may have actually resulted in them going ahead and processing him. I'm not sure. I do have a call into Keene Police Chief Arthur Walker. I haven't received a return call. Only called him once. That was about 4 days ago. I've had a call also into the man who is running the jail that Sam is in. Now, I do have a thought as to how we could do something to get around the media blockade of this story that seems to be happening, and that would be letters to the editor. If you send a news release to the media, then they have to go out and do a story to get anything out of that news release. But if you send them a letter to the editor, all they got to do is print it. And most papers will print most letters to the editor. The Union Leader prints pretty much every letter it gets, as long as it's short enough and confines to their restrictions. And the Keene Sentinel is generally actually pretty good about printing letters in my experience. The Nashua Telegraph is not so good. The Concord Monitor, good. So, if you haven't written a letter to the editor, that might be a useful way to do something that you know will have some result. I can't think of anything else to tell you. I'm just checking my notes again to make sure I haven't missed anything. And it appears that, one other thing. Sam reports that he has been getting mail from all over the world, from as far away as Tasmania. He got a mail from Tasmania. He also has been getting mail from Israel and the UK and California. That's like another country. Anyway, he says most of his mail is coming from mailtojail.com. And so on that note, I'll end this report and remind you that it was brought to you by mail-to-jail.com, something that rhymes with com. Drop by the website and see how you can send a mail to a prisoner without any expense. Dave Ridley signing off for RidleyReport.com, sponsored by mail-to-jail.com, something that rhymes with com.